Have you heard or studied about Plato's Allegory of the Cave? Plato was a Greek philosopher who lived from 427 to 347 before Christ. He was a student of Socrates, and he founded the Academy of Athens, which was one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world. Well, Plato wrote many works, and his philosophy covered a wide range of topics, including ethics, politics, and metaphysics, which is my favorite. I love Plato's story called The Allegory of the Cave. It's a symbolic story that he made up to help people understand that most of us are living life as if we were prisoners in a cave. Imagine that you are in a dark cave and you've been there your whole life. You can't see anything outside of the cave. The only thing and the only light you have comes from a fire that's burning behind you. There is a wall in front of you, and people walk along and all carrying things, casting shadows on that wall. And to you, that you're looking at the wall, you only see the shadows. And the shadows are all that you have ever known. They are like the only TV show you ever watched, or the only book you've ever read. But those shadows aren't real things. They're just shadows of the real things there are outside of the wall, outside of the cave, right? So one day you might get out of the cave and see the real world for the first time. You'll be really bright, and you might feel confused, scared at first, because you're not used to it. But you will also see that the shadows you thought were real were just copies of the real things. And then there's a whole big world out there to explore and learn about. So Plato's message about the allegory of the cave is that we human beings can be like the people in the cave sometimes, only seeing the shadows of reality. But if we seek knowledge and truth, we can escape the cave and see the world as it really is. In other words, when we step out of the cave, we can see and think about things for ourselves instead of just believing everything we are told or shown, or be afraid of the shadows that may appear to us. This is exactly what we are doing in this training. We are stepping out of the cave of our own minds. We are seeing the sun for the first time, and perhaps it can be a bit scary for some. When we realize that we have been conditioned to believe in the shadow, discover who you are. You need to know who you are not. You are not the shadow. You are not born to be in the dark. You're not born to be a prisoner in a cold cave. You're not here to be afraid or suffering or feeling locked in the stories of your mind. You're going through a hard time, maybe, but it's because you have been in the cave for too long. The cave weakens you, and it may be terrifying. You may think there's no way out, but you must believe that it's an illusion and that you can get out. So here's the thing. You are in the cave if you are seeing others as a threat. You are afraid of the future. You are resented or feeling guilty. You are hiding yourself from the world. You are angry about others, what other people are doing. You are sick and you believe you can't be cured. You don't trust people. You don't venture to new opportunities. You believe people are judging you and holding you back. You feel sad or angry most of the time. Your mind wanders and you can't be present, etc. Now, you are out of the cave if you wake up in the morning and you are optimistic about the day. You are excited about your future. You don't hold resentment in your heart. You feel free. You are open to interact with others. You accept others as they are, and it doesn't affect you. You believe that illness is just passing by and you can be cured. You trust others. You always venture to new opportunities. You believe you are lovable. So basically, when you feel happy and feel playful in your content with your life, you are out of the cave. So now you're realizing who you really are. You are not the thoughts in your head. You are not your perceptions, which are the shadows. You are not the roles that you play in life. The mother, the teacher, the employer, the wife. You are not your opinions or the opinions of others. You are not your mind, and you are not your body. You are much bigger than that. And when you get in touch with your true essence of who you really are, you feel like floating in the air, and nothing can bring you down. Because your heart will feel full. And you might have a smile on your face that just don't go away. It's this feeling of pure happiness that can make you forget about any worries or troubles of life. So when you live in this truth, you become magnetic. You become extremely attractive and incredibly sexy. Realize this and you'll be ready to harness your power of attracting and manifesting all that you desire in your life. Because you are the light, not the shadow.